Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the Forsaken Council episode 16. Now, I would turn my camera on tonight, guys, but I've had a few drinks. I'm a bit worse for wear, so I will maybe save you guys. There's not enough goo tonight, is what I'm saying. So, yeah, it should be a fun show, though. We've got lots to talk about, guys, haven't we? We've got, of course, the VXP weekend, the new Reaver targets, and a lot of other stuff that's going on in the game. I mean, I guess first things first, how are you all finding the VXP weekend this time? I mean, thoughts and opinions, guys.
Love it.
Yep.
Yep, it's great. Just running through, picking targets apart with some freshly built Apollos, suiciding things into 123s to get them ranked. It's been great. Yeah,
good stuff. I mean, I had 3 fleets to get ranked, and it was great because I was able to go out there and do that fairly quickly. In fact, I did find, like for my Apollos and stuff, I was hitting the 80s, but when it came to my base guard, I was just suiciding in the Reaver targets. You know, it was just seemed that I was getting. I think I got 100k out of 2 hits suiciding, so it was pretty fast way to get ranked.
Yup.
So no one else for the VXP weekend. No one else is want to talk about it at all.
I've just run out of things to rank, mate, to be honest.
Sorry, go on, Mark.
complaints
about it.
It was pretty simple, mate. 80s, and I ate about 5, mate, and then I was done. So yeah, good stuff.
Good stuff. Well, what about the the Reaver targets? I mean, I want to say, you know, before we even start discussing it, that we do have to give props to Kickstarter on that one, because I don't know. I know there's been a lot of mixed opinions about these Reaver targets, but when have we ever seen a target 3 months in advance of its release? I mean, for Kickstarter to say, look, this is going to be in September, have a look at it, you know, try it out. I mean, that's pretty unprecedented for Kickstarter, as far as I'm concerned. I don't know a time that they've ever done that before, so props to them on that.
The only problem I've got with it is that they say this is going to be the target, but you guarantee it's going to be changed. Because I'm going in with the Ghost, and I can Ghost it for free. Now, I guarantee when the raid comes along, it won't be as simple as that.
But they also did say that not only, like, they said that target may not necessarily be the complete raid. It may just be one of the targets you have to hit within the raid. Like, it may not be all about subs.
It's in the style, it's in the format of, exactly that.
So you were able to do them for 3 months with your Ghost Caller. That's really interesting.
Yeah.
I would find it highly unlikely that they would keep it that way, especially if you think in 3 months' time with the way shards are going. I would imagine just about every player under the sun's going to have one built.
Exactly.
I'm clearly not under the sun then.
Even Brian's going to have one built.
Give me like 240 Ghost Crawler shards, and I think that'll do it.
See, I need 249, so.
Oh, Ghost Crawler shards.
Yeah, I need 249 as well. Yeah.
I'm nearly there.
I've got all 4 of them on like the 200 mark, I think, is where I'm at, in all honesty. So.
Interesting omission that the one shard prize in the FM rotation that they didn't have is the Ghost Crawler. Also, in the Reaver targets, when you kill one of the ships, it does a super Reaver Scout engine explosion that's really wide, and that will even damage you when you're submerged, but the damage is far less than if you were to be above ground, which is good because subs don't really have explosive resistance anyways. So.
Yeah, well, see, you know what? I'll say it again. I know I said this in the pre-show, but it's worth saying on air. I mean, I know that the targets are sort of designed for subs, but there's players that have gone out there and done them without subs. I mean, I did it. I actually was killing them by accident. With I was outranking my Rev and Vendetta fleet, and I killed them by accident, thinking I was just going to suicide in them. I actually killed a few before I was dead. So it's not like at the moment they're in a position where you can't do them with anything but subs. Is my point.
Yeah,
well,
it's more the good.
Yeah, well, I tried my proto with 4
Zoe Rhinos behind it, and it walked through it like nothing. With the high concussive defense on the proto, I mean, not everybody has a proto, but it really was rather easy. So.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm trying to build. I think the best concussive defense I have right now is a V2H. So, whoops. But it's more about damage type, I feel, than the type of ship that you use to attack the target. We knew that server ships wouldn't do well, so all of our typical ballistic, penetrative, explosive, radioactive, those really wouldn't work. But if you're going to say that subs can hit it, you have to make it vulnerable to concussive and corrosive. Well, we already have concussive weapons in the form of the Gatling gun and a secondary on the newest weapon, the coaxial firestorm, and we have corrosive in the form of the scatter guns and the six torps. So if you have ships with those weapons, you can do them just fine. And as Liam was saying earlier, how he was doing them with the Revenge, but he was going in and he was taking damage. So the trade-off there is that if you're able to, you can attack these subs with surface ships. They don't even have to necessarily be geared for concussive damage, but the trade-off for that is one, you'd be doing less damage unless it's like the Revenge, then it's probably comparable, but you're still taking damage from the target, whereas if you do it very well with subs, you'll be taking practically no damage. So it's inferior, but still doable if you build it right, and building it right even sometimes builds it well enough for other uses like Revenge and concussive Gatling. So it's fine. You don't need subs, but they help.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, I guess with these new armors as well, that you've got an opportunity to maybe even build a fleet that has much higher concussive resistances on it. But I mean, they are designed for subs primarily. But until the sub reduction times come down, there's no incentive for me to be building them.
One day 3 hours, one day 17 hours for me per torpedo. One torpedo is 1 day 17 without taking out the refit penalty. I have Nighthawks already built, and to refit mine, I almost feel like I might as well just build new subs, because it's gonna take the whole from now till September for me to just refit my sub.
Mm-hmm.
If they could knock a day or so off, because right now they're making the best weapons in a category about 10 to 14 hours, except for I think the Judgment, which was a little longer. If they could do that for the 88 range torps, that would be nice.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, listen, guys. I mean, any more experiences from the VXP weekend? I mean, I felt it was a good weekend. It was a good VXP weekend as far as they go. But
just remember quickly about the subs there, and it's open up the top on our page. Ren posted it yesterday that Kixie intend to put the subs into the Foundry under skirmish class sometime prior to the first event in the series that's coming up in September. That's all the info you can release for now, but there are some sort of speculations out there that means that they'll get some relevant buffs up front. Hopefully some concussive, that'd be good, wouldn't it? And then there's a rumour he's put on here also, it's open up on our page, that says that they might look at some build times. So let's see what comes. But so definitely going to the skirmish class into the Foundry, and a potential on review of some build times in the future as well, which will help everybody. Adjustments to fixed times is the most important thing, I think. If we've got subs coming in for the raids, and you make a slip, as people do sometimes in the subs, you don't want a times 400 multiplier on the fix. That's just ludicrous.
Well, see, I imagine that these targets are going to change a great deal before we see them released. Never will they release something 3 months in advance and leave it that way for 3 months later. Probably change a hell of a lot. I mean, I can imagine I'll put a lot more ships in. I think it was just a teaser, like an early access look, and say, hey, this is kind of the idea to give you a gist of what we're planning. So when we say build subs, we're not joking, and that's kind of what I felt that target was.
What was the raid that we did when the two factions were fighting each other, and then we came in as a third party, and they basically were knocking each other out? The Draconian versus Forsaken.
Draconian versus Forsaken.
We were using subs for that, weren't we?
I want to say Civil War, but it wasn't Civil War.
It was pretty good, whatever it was, because we have to avoid both factions and let them conquer each other, and then you'd have to slide around and try and knock out the idea was to try and knock out the shit that was winning.
The Reavers.
Yeah, because so that basically you could keep the fight even. You didn't actually have to take them out. You had to just keep the battle even, like temporarily help one side, then temporarily the other side, so they actually neutralized each other. And you didn't have to do a great deal apart from making sure that the battle stayed fairly even, which is quite an interesting concept, I thought.
Do you know what raids that I really enjoyed, which is probably gonna many won't agree with, but I really enjoyed the Snowfall raids.
Yeah, I have to say, because they came back, didn't they, as well for a campaign, didn't they? Which was good.
The Proto Nemesis campaign,
yeah.
I thought that was a cracking raid. The Kraken. Oh yeah.
Yes.
But it was funny, and the only reason I mentioned that is because as you brought up an old raid there, I was looking at some statistics recently from the Nexus page, and I think it was the Snowfall raid that was one of the more popular raids.
It was the most popular raid.
The most popular raid in the last couple of years, which is interesting. Kickseye, you should maybe think about that. But yeah,
something new and something fresh, wasn't it?
It was, and I think missile. It was the time when missile holes come back, and we were hit with like 7 different types of missiles.
That was it. Yeah, not so good that bit.
The good old Harrier Blade days.
Yes, yeah, all in a week. Yeah. So just a bit of information there for those that want to. Kickseye are actually asking on their own forum for feedback for the 123 target. They've opened up a page there. Laredo's modding it, and they're asking for some feedback. So if you've got something you can put that adds to the forum, then please feel free. But obviously, if you've tried something it doesn't work, probably a good idea to put that on there as well, because there's no point just having the positives. Constructive and negative obviously does work as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, I don't really know what kind of feedback they're looking for on that. I mean, it's free Reaver ships. I don't really understand how deep you could get into that, but
well, they're asking for subs, so I was thinking, anybody's been in with the CUDA, did it work? Anybody's been up with routine stuff, maybe with B-Torps, did B-Torps do any damage whatsoever? It's great saying, I'm a ghost crawler, killed it. Well, look at the percentage of people that have got those, and what a monster, you beast. But I don't even have one.
Monster's got a Hellstar, a ghost crawler. He's got 2 ghost crawlers, hasn't he, Monster?
Yeah, he's also got a tractor on his land.
I just, my heart bleeds for him,
Mine does not. Mine does not.
I know. There's a guy come on our page the other day, and he was like, "Oh, how do I rank Nemesis?" He was really frustrated, and I was like, "Really, mate? Really? I haven't even got a fucking mega hole."
So I mean, that's it about the VXP weekend. What I thought we'd bring up next is find out how people thought the very first week of the switch of the FM targets was going to go, or has gone.
Fuck, 3 hours. I had all 700 million.
Wow.
Just went the same as last month's. I used the same fleet. I used the same strategy. I made a mistake in the very first target, and that was the only time my repair ever increased. Every other time I was just hitting 107s. It was just like last month. Same everything. So many tiers on the forums. Oh, man.
I take it everybody here is probably different sectors. Did you notice if anybody were caught out? Anybody that wasn't reading the forums? Anybody that wasn't, aware of the change and that sort of stuff? And was there any ranting sort of stuff?
There was crying on the forums about not reading the changes which were posted on the forums and in the game and everywhere else. I didn't see anything in sector comms, but if you're going on the forum to post about things that were discussed on the forum, something's wrong.
There's a lot of
I
crying
agree
in my
with
sector.
I agree with Zoidberg. Oh, that was crying. I was like, that's Zoidberg.
Titty babies.
Yeah, we had a lot of crying in my sector too, and people just didn't understand why we were getting the quick change like that. I said, and I kind of got a little irate with you guys. I'm like, we got 3 months notice that this was going to happen, and I mean, they introduced the targets and let you work your way towards them. It wasn't a surprise, so.
Yeah, guys were whining in my comms the other day too, and I just flat out just was talking to one of my members in my alliance, and I said, well, I'm just tired of hearing people cry about it. They were warned, quit the whining and just, you should have worked on the new targets to get ready for it. That's their own fault. Big titty babies.
And even if they weren't reading the forums, there was a little info fill to the side in the physical game with a red exclamation point. So that's about as
Right.
readme as you can get.
Yes, sir.
Okay, and just out of interest there, have you noticed anybody managing to hit some of the decent targets and at least get tier 4 without using punishers?
To be honest, I haven't been paying attention to everybody else.
No, me either.
Because that's the key point. I mean, the points upgrade in the T3 to 7 million, and obviously the 50 million as we know for the T4. So it's not my level that's going to struggle. It's those individuals that haven't actually got the Punisher Hell as of yet. So they're getting Rhinos. They've got HCs potentially. Some of the earlier sort of like siege protection hulls, but they're not going to be ideal for these type of targets. You need some sort of assault deflection as well for some of those ships. So I can understand the low levels might be probably feeling the pinch. Let's put it that way.
Rhinos and HCs do pretty good work. I mean, I had a Punisher tank, luckily for me, but against the lower level targets with less damage, a heavy cruiser should work just fine. It's all about the heavy mortar and explosive defense, and probably some evade on the heavy cruiser in particular. But that should do you just fine, I imagine.
I've seen guys using Drac carriers. I've seen some guys doing 60s and 67s with Crusaders and stuff like that, and not having a problem.
What the hell?
Whoa!
What the fuck?
Step away and try that again.
The alien.
You might want to check your settings there, buddy.
That's quite amusing.
That was Charlie Brown's teacher.
He's gone. That's it. Okay.
He's
I'm
back.
not on
He's
that
back
screen. Was that Liam?
I'm not sure who that was, to be honest.
Imre, try again.
Is it working?
There we go.
Okay.
Loud and clear.
Sorry about my mic, guys.
Was that you, Imre? Was it?
Yeah.
I'm impressed, mate. You're taking helium or something like that.
It sometimes makes me sound like Mickey Mouse.
Oh, right. Okay, then.
So what I was trying to say is that I got a very small guy in my alliance. He's just level 46. He used to be able to do level 40s with the FM, and now the new ones hit him because now he has to do it. And he tried a 40, and he had 6 hours repair out of it. So he's going for T2 for the time being. But he doesn't really have much to play with. That's his main problem.
Okay.
He's got a Dreadnought fleet. He got the Rhino from that raid from 2 months ago, and he's building ships.
And what's his best hull at the moment? What's he using?
The Rhino, of course.
All right. Okay. All right then. And what level target is he actually hitting himself at the moment then?
Well, he's not hitting 40s anymore, I guess. So
right. Okay.
Probably he's going for those 30-somethings.
Okay.
The problem is that we can't even help him. We can't prep a center of something and just let him finish it off with some guards, because there's nothing that we can prep.
Okie dokie. Anybody else got anything to say about the FM?
Tier 5. It's a bit complicated when it comes to the prizes. You know, you got the shard bits in there.
Yeah.
I haven't got my head around that yet. Right, I haven't got my head around this vote last week, but that's beside the point.
I think it's a bit mixed bag, mate, because there's people in my alliance that got tokens instead of shards. I don't know what's going on there.
So I think what happened with that was, well, what was intended to happen was you had the Judgment Mortar and Explosive System 4 in Tier 5, and then you had the 6 sets of shard prizes. Those stayed from last month, and your progress was saved from last month. Like, I apparently had missed a, I know I didn't do at least one back when it was offered for shards, so I was a set of shards behind. And now, my first run-through gave me the last set of shards. After I got 350 million, it showed up on my, on the prize list properly. And then the next run-through, I got the ATR as it should be. But because I guess the blueprint shards aren't recognized by the game the same way as blueprints are, it's going to be confusing when you look at it. You're just going to see all the locks. But once you go through once and hit Tier 5, you'll see where you are. But you do have to go through all the shards before you get the ATR and then the tokens.
Yeah, Gadget's obviously in the chat. He's having problems with his connection tonight, so he's just in the forum chat there. But he's the same thing. He had shards every week, right up until the switch, and then obviously the first run through, he got the ATR straight away. Same for myself, you know. We both had the same sort of scenario, straight into that, and then tokens as well. So that was quite you as well, mate.
Yeah, I got
What you're saying.
tokens as well.
I got the transformer.
What you're saying is
tokens too.
Yeah, so basically, if you've missed out on the shards at any stage and haven't got them all, then clearly you have to play the catch-up game. But if you've been doing the shards regularly, then you know you move on to the next stage, which is obviously the you know the ATR.
Well, there's something that we should think about. When the Kickstarter introduced this new Tier 5 and they put all those shards in there, they said that we can claim those shards once per package per month. And in about a week, we're going to have July. So we might be looking at more shards instead of the tokens.
Yeah, potential reset, yeah, of the shards themselves. It'll be interesting, yeah, you're right, it's a fair point.
There should
So
be.
you've got to hit the top.
Yeah, that'll be interesting.
Each week.
Each time, yeah.
Twice.
Nice. I'm a little... Good.
Yeah, go on, Brian.
I'm a little more bummed for those who... Because when this came out, it said that you could hit for shards, you know, if you wanted. You didn't have to. I know they had added more shards in the middle of the month, so there was actually a reason for people to continue hitting Tier 5 twice every time through the end of the month. But there are some people that just didn't care about the shards. I mean, the first time through you get uranium, so that's always great, but there are quite a few people who thought, oh, I don't have to do this, so I don't want to, I don't see a point in doing the second rotation to Tier 5, and they stopped, and now they're a few weeks behind, even though it said, oh, these shards are optional prizes. I mean, I got most of them, and I missed one, and I'd like another set of Tier 5 build tokens, but there are people that are further behind, and I just feel bad for those people.
So they've took an optional thing. You don't need the shards to. You have to get the tokens.
Okay. One thing I was going to say quickly there is with the development of obviously the new target system, and we know the 107, it's a good target and that sort of stuff, and obviously most people leave approach from the 12 o'clock or the 6 o'clock position, and obviously you try and run in quickly and undercut the arc missile, and then probably get inside its fire range and then take out those turrets. One thing I've clocked is there's a lot of targets lying out there now, and obviously the target is spawned by the level of the base that it spawns from, not just randomly on the map. You'll find there's a lot of 107 targets where basically the two end, you know, clumps have gone, but the target's just sitting there with the middle bit not being taken out, because a lot of people are going in, you know, with a crew, a speed crew, and a long pinch, and they're just taking the two edges and then getting their T4 and leaving the rest behind. Thoughts on that?
Well, it's life, isn't it? People say what they want, and you know, they leave the mess.
So what do you think the fix is to that? Do you think they should time out and then refresh?
No, I just think it's natural. So they should leave it, and if anybody wants to clear the rest, let them clear the rest. It's just, you know, it's life.
It's a bit like the old 85s, wasn't it, where you go in and all of a sudden all there was 2 torque towers and nothing else left.
Well, that's how it was then, and that's how it should be now.
Nice to think everyone doing it.
Well, there's the answer, mate. If you see someone doing it to yours outside your base, sink them.
Well, if someone wants to retrofit their citadels, they are actually going to tank these guys. It's easier to get the fragments.
Yeah, I've been cleaning up when I've seen sort of half-killed ones.
But yeah, it's the same as the old ones. They take what they want, they leave the rest. You go in there, and they go and let them respawn.
Yeah, I mean, what are we getting each? Does anybody know what you're getting for just one half? Oh, sorry, one arc missile cluster. Does anybody know what the points are roughly? I might just go right from top. I go from top to bottom and just don't stop. But I mean,
top and bottom islands are worth 13.5 million each.
Right. Okay.
Well, there's still nothing to sneeze at. At least you ain't got 2 torpedo towers that you can take damage and get very little.
Yeah, there's right. Yeah, I mean, come the end of it, everyone managed to find out a way to kite them, didn't they, without taking any damage in the end? So.
Well, that's it. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you know, this is week 1 of the sole option now of getting points. So people are going to find their happy mediums, and they're going to adjust, and you know, and this should be it till the autumn time sort of thing. So we shouldn't have any.
Yeah, but TSM, you must admit, these ones are far better than the old ones.
Well, put it this way, yeah, I'm happy because it's much faster to do. Yeah. I used to find it a right nose, and now you know.
4.5 hours with grease key, you're finished.
Yeah, it's not so bad now, I must admit. Yeah, I'm content. Well, I've done a couple of videos. I've showed people what the difference between the 97 and the 107, and it's just the points and obviously the number. And I've managed to find a route that doesn't hit any ice fields as well. So.
Yeah, I've been following that.
Is it working for you as well, mate? Is it?
Funny.
Anybody else got some thoughts?
It's only been
We've got another Jeff. Have you got a mic, mate?
Yeah.
What's your thoughts, mate, on the FM so far?
No, not too bad. Got 350 million twice. Actually, I got almost 500 million. So.
Really? Right. Okay.
Well, between doing my own and then prepping for some people, so.
Oh right. Okay.
Over 500 million. So.
Well, I did notice somebody on forum posted a thing on our page to say I forgot to press reset, and then he obviously went through 2 sets and then realised that obviously he hadn't docked or looked at it, and he went straight through twice, just didn't press the reset. So.
I hate when that happens.
Yeah, I think we've all done it once at least. What's up, Trent?
Oh, fucking stuck in a loading screen, hitting a base.
Oh, that's not good. We've all been there, mate. We've all been there.
Oh, I'm gonna smash him. It's a friend of mine's base.
Oh dear.
A long time ago, all I did was just mini raids, fleet versus fleet, never hit anybody. And he has always called me a Sally pirate. Salvage.
Right.
Sally pirate.
Yeah.
Well, he's new back. He's in my sector hanging out, and he starts running his mouth against me. I said, you know what? I'm gonna come smash your base, dude. I said, if you haven't noticed, I almost have 400 medals, which normally I don't have that much at all.
Mm.
And he's running his mouth. I said, all right, I'm gonna come smash you.
Okay, so yeah, I've noticed today actually there's been a bit of dock issue actually, and a few people have had some sort of spinning discs and that sort of stuff. I mean, a couple of people couldn't get out onto the world map today, and some people just, you know, there was a couple of rants on the forums. It was working, it wasn't working, it was working. It seems to be okay at the moment, unless you're having problems now, but it seems to be working. But so the next point I was going to think about was what do you reckon to the next? Obviously, we've got a raid coming up in 3 weeks' time. So what sort of hull's coming? We heard it was going to be a baser. Sorry, a defender for the base. So what's your thoughts on that? What's put your crystal ball. What type of weapon and what's your thoughts?
That's an hard one because
what's due, do you reckon?
Well, it's the fleets that
Missile
are
would
attacking
be next,
bases.
wouldn't it?
Well,
No, it's supposed to be a base guard ship,
Yeah, but
like an enforcer.
Yeah, but we go through bases now. Now they don't exist. If you do it right, you can take any base.
Yeah.
So there's going to have to be something to try and counter that, isn't there?
Well, yeah, but I can't see Kickside jumping that much. Advance. I just can't see it happening.
But they're not going to give us a hull in a raid that's absolutely pointless because no one's going to want to do a raid.
They've given us holes that suck sometimes. It's Kickside.
I'm thinking.
Go on, Brian.
I'm thinking for this, either a sort of cannon. I know we just had we have the Gamma Behemoth from Dubs, or either that or some sort of explosive defense like Guardian way back in the day. Something like that. I imagine it would have remote targeting to kind of help kind of level it out with the attackers. Now you've got Vendettas with remote targeting, so they're hitting you from double range. I think the weapon... Oh, sorry. I think the hull is going to have a field, probably a mix, I want to say, of the Frostburn Interceptors and the Centurion field, where it reduces splash damage because all the new weapons are splash, and they're all pretty damaging. Obviously high assault deflection, probably high explosive resist, and a medium amount of concussive resist, unless they're going to do the deflection specific, the specific damage type deflection, like concussive deflection with base guards too. They probably are, I guess, because it's technically a PvP hull. And the weapon, I figured, explosive. I know we just got the coaxial firestorm, so this might actually be a cannon variety, but something like that with the appropriate damage type deflection bypass as they meant to have it, or maybe it'll be on the hull, but just something like that.
Other thoughts? Anybody else?
Well, if Kicksai's listening, or if they watch this and they want to take an idea, maybe UAV launcher style guard ship would be great. You know, a new UAV.
Yeah, because we have not really had a true UAV guard ship. We've had some. I mean, we've had some UAV ships, haven't we? But they're not actually been guard ships, have they?
And that would open up the change. You can change between what type of damage you're going to do, right? So, I mean, it would work against both types of ships that are out there now, like the Revenge and the Vendetta. I mean, you can rig it up so it's damaging both.
So we're going to need something with a range, an all-up range of about what, 104, 105?
Yeah.
Does that sound about right?
Yeah.
So ranges, we've now got, apart from game creep, we've got range creep, haven't we?
Yeah.
Because we were in the sort of like 89s, 12 months ago, and it sort of creeps up to the 94s, and then we're creeping up to the 98s, and now we're creeping to the 105s, aren't we? So.
Well, the only thing you've really got to range them, mate, is launches on enforcers. So they're gonna need to go somewhere down that sort of range route, simply because of the range of like the GAT. It don't really matter too much about the new hull because that range is short, and most space guards can hit ship while it's in range. But if you look at the Revenge, mate, then it's going to have to be the same range or longer.
Yeah. I mean, I'd be dead against it if they made it longer. I mean, you think of the the Gamma, and then you stick an Arbalest or on it. That's got a hell of a range on it already, And then obviously you bring in your Revenges and that sort of stuff. They've got range. But otherwise, you have the situation we had 12 months ago where people are bringing in enforcers and then kiting people's islands and that sort of stuff, and their guards out with enforcers, weren't they? They were counter ships.
It will still happen, though, mate. Do you know what I mean?
Anybody else got any thoughts? Anybody?
How about a ship that activates all the turrets? Like you put a lead ship in front and you've got a bigger circle.
Yeah.
They do one that activates the turret to a bigger circle.
So it's like a trigger ship.
Yeah. That would be nice.
And stems what? Like an overload sort of concept?
Well, no, just when you get that nice big yellow line round that comes out and activates your mortars from, I use an Apollo.
Mm-hmm.
That line is, what, 25-30% bigger than the actual range?
Yeah.
So if they put a ship in that you could put nestling up against your wall and activate all the turrets at the same time, I think that would work quite well.
So you're not saying remote targeting turrets, though, are you?
No, it activates turrets like hang on, Draconian's scattergun turrets. It activates them and gives them a longer range.
Oh, I see what you mean. Yeah, yeah.
You know,
a trigger or a boost, or both even.
Well, yeah, it just got that yellow line around it, which doesn't activate the ship. It activates the turrets. Well, you know, all the turrets in the centre, mine go out pretty well. Mine go out to about, if I can find it, yeah, they go out well beyond the whole of the island. So just activate the smaller weapons to go further.
All right, yeah, I can see that, and that's a bit like the ATR, then, isn't it? Because obviously that's got a minor boost on it, isn't it? 10%, I think it is at the moment. So
well, yeah, like I'm building Deadeyes like they're coming out of fashion, but I won't coin them. You know, and something that will give not Deadeyes, but like the Piranha, the Basilica turrets and stuff like that, a longer range.
Hmm.
But, you know, I don't know how Kickstarter's going to go on this.
That'd be interesting.
You got people ranked 20 down from you. Then, hang on. They've got the Vendettas, and they've got a lead ship, and they just walk around your base and walk in.
But we have that sort of cycle every 6 months, don't we? You know, I mean, we've had a bit of a pause because we've had a bit of reset and reset the you know, the ship formats. So, but go back 6 or 8 months ago, we had the same scenario. So it's you know, it wasn't so.
Yeah, I know in cycles, but like you say, with the range creep, the cycles become more powerful.
Yeah, but then I suppose that's also, I don't know what other people think, but you know, especially when we went back to the Reaver stuff and we were starting to use, you know, rockets, and you know, it's great we can come in and actually hit someone's base, but by God, you got to repair afterwards, haven't you?
Well, yeah, but that is the name of the game. You know, you hit someone, you take damage, you repair. But the thing is, 18 hours repair on a fleet and a base, you can get up to 36 hours.
Yeah, potentially. Okay, so anybody else then thinking? Go on. Other thoughts on the type of hull we'd like you to get then for this guard ship, and what capability it might have?
The only other thing I'd like to see, since we have all the ships that are attacking us now have the Bloodthirst, is if the defender ship that we're getting, maybe the defender ship has a type of Bloodthirst as well. For as soon as the attacking ships say go into Bloodthirst, your defending ship goes into Bloodthirst.
All right, okay. Or maybe the opposite. Maybe it cancels their Bloodthirst by doing something.
Yeah, exactly.
Because yeah, I mean, Bloodthirst, especially obviously with the fact that you've got, you know, a lot of people are obviously doing combination fleets now, aren't they? You know, with the two latest and you know, if you could do something that had an aura, maybe that if it was triggered, like say by your garrison ship, by your frontline defender ship, you know, and it knocks it out for 10 or 15 seconds, would be quite handy to let things obviously, you know, do their job. You know, the ice patches or whatever it is. If you've got fire turrets or something like that, plasma turrets. Yeah. Okay. Anybody else have any other thoughts? What about weapon types? What haven't we seen in a long time? What's new? Do you think?
Well, it seems like it's a tendency right now that any weapon that they release is coaxial. So probably we're gonna get something against the most recent Conqueror hordes. So what we can probably expect would be something like a new antipode launcher mixed with ballistics maybe, or explosive. That's really what can kill units.
We haven't seen corrosive in a while. Not sure how big a hit of corrosive has been, but that's something we haven't seen in a while. Coaxial launcher scattergun? I don't know. I'm just saying.
It's going to be crazy for sure.
Yeah. Do you know? I think on the particular defender holes, I think we're going to have a dual weapon. I think basically the furthest range should have a certain amount of power, and then when you get closer, maybe then it should just step up in power but not change its capability.
Yeah, like remote targeting, but in reverse.
Yeah, that sort of concept. Yeah, right, the reverse of remote targeting. So if they're being cheeky and they want to push into your base, then obviously your fleet gets a bit more capability.
Yeah, I know that. Like the new coaxial firestorm is actually kind of a good example. Very rarely have I seen the rocket mode used. They're just remote targeting and firing from 180. The risk versus reward of going in close to do more damage isn't worth the damage that you take. So perhaps the weapon could be made to reflect that, or on the hull or something.
Yeah, can you just check who's playing music in the background? Someone's got music going there. It's disappeared now. There we go. And if you're wondering where, obviously, where Liam disappeared to, he had a work call, so he had to dive out for a few moments. So if he makes it back in, he makes it back in.
Wasn't he a little lit?
Who?
Liam, didn't he say he'd been drinking?
I was trying to be polite.
Only something I would like to see Kinks do something with is the bombarders, mate. The bombarder platform.
Oh yes, yeah.
Simply because, I mean, we'll creep back into black M rain again, but we haven't really got a turret which can shoot them down.
Well, that's true.
So it would be nice to see him do something with that.
Yeah, what sort of thing are you thinking about?
Well, just an upgrade to it. I mean, we had the Phalanx and we got the Drac thingamabob, didn't we? Which was
the Drac Coax.
Yeah, which was the upgrade of that. But I mean, they've gone into black M rain again, and unless you've got a gamma with anti-morts on, you've not really got anything to shoot them down, though.
Yeah, and you have to have a lot of anti-mortars as well, wouldn't it?
Exactly. So
have you seen those things fire yet?
Well, I've got a fleet, mate. So yeah.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, I was going to say it's crazy. It really is proper.
Yeah, so it would be nice. It is proper mad, but it would be nice to see him do something with maybe them, and it's just something else to help to defend your base, right? Because it's been a long time since they've done anything to like that.
So just so the panel here tonight, how many people have got gammas? Just have a quick run across the board there. Trent, yourself?
Say that again, brother.
Have you got a gamma yet in your base?
I do not. I've got one blueprint, but I haven't built it yet. I've been busy building the Revenges and Apollos.
All right. You just stacked up them with builds at the moment, yeah?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. Brian, what about you, mate? I mean, I know you're difficult. Have you had any chance to get any shards yet for a gamma?
I've got a 10th of one.
A 10th, okay. So there's that event. There's that supposed to be that other event was going to come up, wasn't it, to get the obviously some shards, but that's going to not pan out now, isn't it? So
I mean, I'm not particularly beaten up over it. I would have only gotten to 6, and even then, you know, like it's not going to make it. If you find me, you're going to kill me. that's not, the gamma isn't going to help that. So, it's fine.
Okay. Imri, what about you, mate?
Well, I've been playing with the uranium bases, and I've got 2 gammas that I can possibly build, and I had a third one which somehow disappeared, and Kickside said that I never had it. And they wanted evidence of the third gamma in my inventory when I never had that because the 10 shards disappeared and then there was no third gamma.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah. I've been playing with them for 16 days, tickets back and forth. End of the story is that I can't prove it.
Wow.
And they will never believe me.
Yeah, I mean, I do know somebody that was actually on the forums on our page, in fact, sorry, a little while ago, and he did the same thing. He had something in his base guard that he built, and then refreshed, and basically it disappeared. And it was quite a discussion, that sort of stuff. And actually, the only way we managed to prove it was actually I told him to send in a copy of his battle log, because for a battle log 3 or 4 days prior to that, it was in there. And then it just disappeared out of his base. And then they basically said, well, prove you ever had it, sort of stuff. And if it wasn't the fact that he had the battle log, then he would have actually been stuffed and he would have never got it back.
I never built the ship.
So you just lost the blueprint altogether?
Yeah, but after 2 gammas, you will never build a third one. So I can't see why they wouldn't believe me. And I told them that if they have some sort of logs, it doesn't take that long to count 37 shards. And then figure out that I got only 2 gammas plus 7 shards.
Right, got you, yeah.
But they say that, they can't help me.
All right.
Proof.
We'll go across the board. So we've got Jeffrey first, and then we'll go Jeff.
No gamma.
Nothing at all yet, mate?
Well, I've got a few shards, but, that bit don't interest me, really.
Okay, all right, mate. Jeff, what about you?
Nope.
Nothing yet, no?
Mm-mm.
No shards at all?
Nope.
Okay. I mean, and Liam, you're back, mate. I can see. Welcome back. He's obviously woke up, finished his business call.
Sorry, guys. Yeah, sorry. No, I had to take an important phone call there.
I
tried to sort it out before the show, but they just called me back in the middle of the show, unfortunately.
It's okay. So we're just saying about gammas and that sort of stuff. How many have you got in your base at the moment, mate? Or have you got some built?
I've got one. I was going to build. I've built the second, but I haven't bothered to do anything with it. It's a dry hole. I don't know. I can kind of see why people run 2. They're very strong holes. I haven't felt the need to put 2 in just yet myself.
I mean, I'm just thinking literally the Vendetta's coming up, and the way it's raining black rain, and a bit like Gadget just said, and Monster as well. I might fill one full up of Gales and just stick it in there just to stop some of that black rain coming down on me.
Well, if you can work out a build that maybe mixes sort of 4, 5, 6 Gale Frees with 4 or 5 Blast or crossbow free cannons, you're kind of laughing because you've kind of got a Vendetta tank right there.
Yeah, you're probably right.
But I mean, Vendettas are a problem. I think Gadget has seen that they're more of a problem when ranked as well. I haven't really had a chance to test mine out since ranking them, but I know they're far more lethal with the rank on them.
Yeah, I might have done now the rank today, but I haven't actually had a chance to go out and play them yet. Whereas, I mean, and I only built them last week, and when I did, I 100%ed at least 30 bases in an hour and a half. I'm not a base there, but I thought I'd go and have a play.
I think I don't know. I think Vendettas can be stopped. I haven't been busted by Vendettas yet. Maybe I shouldn't have said that on there because someone's going to come bust me with Vendettas now. But but I haven't been busted yet.
3, 4, 5.
And I've only been hit when my guard wasn't ranked so far. Now that my guard's legendary rank, because it was a brand new guard, it's completely brand new, so I had no rank on it. And now that they're ranked, I would love to see how different it would turn out. But, maybe Gadget can drop tag and come smash me.
I don't know. I'm only next door. I might come in myself. Yeah.
Oh, you are next door. I was having a little look-see at you in your group the other day. Yeah, I was going to have a little rampage, but we had to leave in the end. But you're all running the same bloody bases. So once you crack one, you crack them all.
Mate, we don't do bases. That's why I told you that many times. We're not that sort of alley. We just go out and have a laugh and that sort of stuff. We're PvE people, not bases. So you just come and flatten it. And also Doc's fix. I couldn't care. I can carry on playing. It's Artemis. That base design's a year old. I know.
It's been a fun old week. I haven't really had a great chance to be on much this week. It's been crazy week for me at work. I don't know if the community in the TFC page have noticed that, though. I do apologise because it's been absolutely manic for me this week. But I'm hoping to get caught up next week.
Okay, well, we've had a quick look at a few things. We've looked at our wish list for the new base hull and what sort of weapon system we think it might be coming with. We've looked obviously the controversy of the new raid targets, the new FM targets, and people that were ready and expected those that weren't ready and then weren't particularly happy. I don't know how they weren't ready or not ready, but didn't know about it. And then obviously we've discussed the things that may be coming in September and the 1, 2, 3 target, and a bit of feedback. So I don't know if you've got any extra things you want to cover in the last 10 minutes, mate.
No. I mean, you've done a grand job. I really appreciate you taking hold of the wheel there. Why I had to exit for a phone call. So well done, guys. I appreciate that.
Can I say something?
Yeah, go, Brian. Go.
I wanted to say something about the 123s. Well, I remembered. I think during the discussion I dropped for technical difficulties. The randomly firing cativator mortars, I think, is a really interesting design, but I don't like it. I understand what they're trying to do because it fires randomly whether it sees you or not, so it just shoots, but it doesn't know how to shoot, so it shoots out randomly within that giant yellow ring. And wherever the mortars land, there are some pretty large cativator fields that stay on there for a very long time, if not the entire battle, and that changes things dramatically in a couple of ways. One, you might have to suddenly retreat where you might not think otherwise, and then you'd have to restart the fight, which takes a lot more seat time, and it's just tedious. And entering and exiting battle is one of the most frequent causes of in-game crashes. So if you enter into a battle and then SOS, you're dead. That's a big repair bill, and having to do that 4 or 5 times per target only increases the likelihood of that. But also, there's no upside really to the RNG of the mortars. If they don't land, if they avoid you entirely, then you don't really gain anything. You're just on the same path that you were before, and that's all well and good. Like, you'll get the expected amount of damage off. But if you can't see the path very well, or one of them hits you, you are surfaced and probably dead. So the upside is you do what you were doing anyways, and the downside is dead. I understand, it's NPCs and Kixeye and money and all that. It's balanced in their favor, but that feels a little bad to me, at least that they stay on the battlefield for so long. If I were to change one thing about that, I'd probably change the timing. At least make those cativator fields leave after, if the longest one was 10 seconds, let's say 15 or 20 on these, so that you could still maneuver around just fine within a surface dive cycle and still be okay. I'm glad that 88 torps, by the way, I think was brought up. You can hit them. They deal okay damage, or B-torps, I'm sorry, 78 range torps. B-torps will hit them. It'll deal okay damage, but not really enough. You need to go back in and rotate for a few cycles in and out. It's just going to take a really long time.
So yeah, I mean, I've only hit in one, but I've viewed a few, and I made a point of doing so ready for tonight. Things I've observed. Now, personally, I quite like the fact when you go in initially and those mortars just spew out. But I think if you just sit tight for the first 10 seconds, because it's got quite a long timeline on it, see where they land, and I sort of get. It just stops you just charging straight in with one of those crews, the rush crews and that sort of stuff, and just diving straight to the centre. So I can sort of see why they've done it. So if you just hold off literally for the first 10 seconds, you'll see where the pattern of fall is going to be. And then obviously, if it's right and they're not on your side, great, then go for it. But if they aren't, then obviously, maybe you just leave and then come back in again, then take another random go at it and see if that's going to work for you. But sub-wise, I've watched somebody hit him with Kudas, didn't go down well. They didn't dive long enough. Absolutely no chance at all. I've seen somebody going with Banshees. They were quite good, and actually he was using Z-torps and not sticks or anything, but they were quite reasonable. Because as we know, those cav patches they're cyclic on a set time. So actually, he was just counting through, and I was counting myself, and I got the time count about right. Worked out when I thought he was going forward, and he actually hit it bang on within about a second of what I was expecting. So I was just watching the fall of his tubs. Obviously, I couldn't see his subs, but yeah. So overall, me personally, I think it's quite a, and if they do come back again for another trial, I think for a first test, not too bad. It means you can't just go straight in and charge in, which is quite handy. It also means that you've got to think about timing, so a bit of precision's come back, so a bit of strategy's come back into it, and it also gives you a little bit of flexibility on the options with your subs that you're going to use. I can think of 3 fleets that are even in the system now, the Tigers, the Banshees themselves, and the Hawks as well, because you can get Hawks with obviously Styx torpedoes as well if you wanted to. So there's already stuff in the game that you could utilize, and like I say, there's plenty of time yet for a few adjustments, especially if they do bring the times down on the rebuilds and refits.
Well, the thing is, are they going to bring them down, fast enough? That's my worry. My worry is that they're going to bring the times down when it's too late. They need to come down now.
I agree. I think even this coming or next work in progress for next week, I think we need to see them drop from the nearly 2 days down to 6 hours at the most.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely. Because if they expect, if we need to build subs, then we can't. No one's going to build a 120-day build in a couple of months. It's just not going to happen. So if that's the direction they're taking the game, then they need to make the game fit into that.
And all I can say is, if it's going into the Foundry, the subs, don't make the time reduction anything to do with the Foundry tool. Just let everybody across the board. Otherwise, you're absolutely going to penalise a very large proportion of the gaming community.
Torpedoes need to come down, especially.
Yeah. Agree, Jeff. Yeah, we said
I would be happy if they left the hull as it was and just reduced the components.
But then you have a long time to build subs.
But you need all of it though, even just refitting. And I'm going to use was it Magnus Drive 2? Like that's 2 days. I'm thinking about interception system because it gives my Styx torpedoes more bonus damage from the corrosive and more combat speed, and that's almost 2 days as well. That's been out for a really long time. The good thing for subs though, the whole build times are okay. They could go lower, but right now the Tiger Shark is like 6 and a little over, so that's fine. But the armor build times are fantastic at least, so that's a good point in it too.
Yeah, stacked up a Tiger Shark's 25 days when it's fully done, from start to scratch to completely done, 22 to 25 days.
2/3 of that is the torps.
I can understand you all saying they need to bring it down if they're going to make this part of the game, but Tiger subs, Phantoms, and Bants and bands have been around a long time, mate. And if you haven't built them, then it's not really Kinks' fault.
Well, true, but I personally did have Phantoms built, but they weren't built properly, and I didn't have time to refit them. And the game was moving at such a pace that I never had a chance to say, hang on a minute, I'll take 4 months out of the game and build subs. I've never once had the opportunity.
Right.
And there's no way I ever felt that they were that valuable to me as a player that I was willing to invest 125 days in equation to coin. 10 days is 500 coins, so we're looking at 6,500 coins. I never once considered that valuable or worth doing, so I certainly never put that kind of money towards them. So I know what you're saying, Monster. If you've been playing the game and keeping up the game, then you've got subs built, but I haven't, and I know there's many players that haven't, and they're not even willing to start building them at the moment.
So my thing is as well, my Tiger's been built for obviously kiting the front turrets off a base as well. So I'm hoping, because I've gone for half Styx and half scatters as well. I've got them at a reasonable speed. They're nearly up to sort of 27, 28, and that sort of stuff. So I'm hoping, with a bit of a preview look at, I'm going to make sure that I don't need to remove my scatter guns, because otherwise, a limited prize that costs a lot of money and a lot of time to build, I'd be pretty frustrated to have to take them off. I think if I spent the extra time sneaking and getting a little bit extra closer, and I managed to get them to fire as well, then and I think that's then if I muck it up, that's my mistake. That's a strategy issue, and I think I should be able to utilize that as well. That brings the whole piece of the sub, the whole sub platform back into the game as well, not just the torpedoes themselves.
Mm.
And deluge, there's another thing.
I think the repair modifier is the first thing that's got to change. I mean,
From 400, yeah.
Yeah, because I mean, if we're going to be doing a raid with these things, we can't be, 22 coins to repair a fleet. That's going to be crazy, right? So.
Yeah, agreed. Yeah. But I mean, I don't know if anybody's tried it yet, because I know a couple of people have got Deluge, Tigers, and that sort of stuff, and obviously Reapers as well. So I don't know if maybe Reapers are a bit difficult, obviously, because they're live as soon as you go in, but Deluge Tigers aren't. So I don't know if I've actually tried one of those in a 123 yet. Should be outside of their, or very close to being outside their cav ring, I should have thought, with a Deluge Tiger set.
I tried my Deluge Reapers. They did well if I could get it in a spot where I had some time to drive and group them together and everything, but they're not going to take out a 123 for sure.
Okay. And have you still got them? Did you adjust them for obviously the change in the bases, or you left them with a full set of Deluge on them?
I left them with a full set of Deluge. I never refitted them because I didn't see a point in it. But
okay, so that's worth knowing then, isn't it? So okay, all right. Any other points then for tonight? We're on the hour. I've just noticed that actually. It's the fact we've just gone over the hour. So everybody else need? Yeah, I've just seen in the chat. Paul's just in the chat actually tonight. We'll follow up on the panel, which is good. He said his didn't work either, so that confirmed that.
Okay, guys. Sorry. Yeah. So is that? Sorry, I was in the middle of a PM there. So have we got anything else to talk about? Any more topics? Other than my hair.
The goo.
The goo.
The goo's strong tonight.
Mr. Magoo.
Well, it's been a fun week, guys. It's been a fun week, and props to Kixeye. I don't really have a bad word to say about him this week again. I know many disagree with that, but it's been, as far as I'm concerned, it's been a good 2 weeks in the game. Coming off the back of a fantastic raid with some good content coming our way, so props to them for that. Anyone looking for information, ship builds, and information and tips, check out our website or our Facebook group. And we will see you for Tuesday's show. I'm not even sure what's coming next week, but I'm sure it's going to be a mental week. But we'll catch you on Tuesday's show. And thanks to everyone on the panel tonight who came out to present on the show. Thank you, TSM, for taking over when I had to step out there. And thank you all to all the wonderful viewers.
Thanks for getting in chat.
And thanks to Gadget in chat, who struggled to get in tonight. Gadget did struggle to get in tonight. So we're gonna help him out. We're gonna teach him how to work his computer next week. So
he needs more RAM.
We're gonna ram him some more. He needs to be rammed. So we'll sort that out for Gadget, and we will see you all on Tuesday's show. Take care, and good night, everyone.
Yeah, good night.